Hello all, I'm Wadabra. Welcome back to Adastra. In the previous episode, Kato revealed his hand by poisoning Cassius during family breakfast. He then locked Marco inside Amicus's room, made arrangements to marry Virginia, and staged a public execution for Neferu, which would all but ensure another war with Chemia. Marco, realizing he's probably also going to be executed once he's no longer useful, leaps from the balcony and into the lake, where he swims to shore and regains access to the palace. Once inside, he threatens Alex, gets him to release Amicus from the dungeon, and manages to do all of this without alerting Com's security, thanks to previously having deleted his profile from the archives. Amicus then uses their plan of last resort and fights Kato in a final trial by combat, which was rightfully owed to him due to his birthright. Then Amicus begins to lose. Badly. Before Kato can kill Amicus, though, Marco realizes that, just as Cassius violated the rules of previous trials and got away with it, the rules don't actually matter here, and joins the fight by stabbing Kato repeatedly with a ceremonial dagger. As is to be expected, though, Kato didn't die instantly, and instead wrestles the dagger away from him and nearly slices Marco's head clean off. The episode ends as Marco is fucking bleeding out in Amicus's arms. And that's the recap. Now, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and take a moment to give this video a like. It's free and does actually help the channel. This episode also features a friend of mine who graciously lent me his voice. He doesn't have any social media or artistic profiles for me to link to, so leave a comment letting me know how you think he did, and I'll pass that along to him. Last but certainly not least, remember to hit that subscribe button to help me appease the almighty YouTube algorithm, and so you don't miss the next episode. And as always, content warnings, chapter times, and a link to my Patreon can be found in the description below. Let's get started.
Amicus is the victor. All hail, Emperor Amicus.
The words sound hollow in Amicus's ears, and so does the faint roar of the crowds in Adastra City, all the way across the lake. The wolf can only stare down at the human in his arms, suddenly realizing how light and fragile he actually is. And the blood. So much blood that paints the front of his human that just moments ago had been so full of life. A tear drops from the tip of Amicus's nose and onto Marco's neck, mixing with the blood that has now stopped flowing from the deep gash. A strange choking sound worked its way out of Amicus's lips, one he's never heard himself make before. The overflowing sadness in his heart has seemingly run out to be replaced by something empty, cold, like there's nothing there anymore. Still, Amicus wills the human to live, to use those special healing abilities he seemed to possess, to breathe again. But even as Virginia moves to find Felix, Amicus knows that nothing can be done for something like this. Cradling Marco's head carefully, Amicus raises the young human up to his chest, hugging him tightly, squeezing his eyes shut and feeling the welling tears pour out over his cheeks, down his chest, and onto the human's hair. It's quiet, and Amicus opens his eyes to see Neferu still sitting there in front of him, staring in shock. When the jackal meets his eyes, he quickly dips his head, lowering his ears.
Amicus, I'm so sorry.
The wolf raises his eyes to see a drone just over Neferu's head, hovering as its lens focuses voyeuristically on him, broadcasting his grief to Adastra. But this is nothing like those dramas, the tragedies of romantic death he'd seen play out on the screens so many times before. There is nothing romantic about this, as Amicus is sure his audience is finding it to be right now. This is real death, and the feeling is familiar. It's hollow, empty, suffocating, like being pulled down into a bottomless, cold, black ocean. It's like when Mother died, and Cassius had screamed over her body like a wounded animal. It's like when he heard the news father had died, and how he'd fallen to his knees, clutching his chest and gasping for air like he'd been shot. But this is worse somehow, and Amicus can't even comprehend it. It hits him harder than anything he's felt in his life. And even though he's not sobbing now, the tears are flowing freely down his cheeks. He isn't sure how he can recover from all this. He knows he probably never will. This is his fault. He'd forced the human here. He'd made himself feel better by saying Marco had a choice in the matter, was free to do as he pleased. But that wasn't true at all. He'd taken the human's life, just as Cato had now. Amicus realizes then that he's no different from the wolves he'd thought himself to be above. That he was more enlightened somehow in trying to hold all sapient life as equal. He's even worse. And even though it would break his heart never to have met Marco, Amicus only wishes that he'd never brought him here in the first place. To his death. The thought brings another wave of heart-wrenching grief to crash through his hollow chest, and for a moment, he almost can't breathe.
Please, Marco.
His teachings since he was a pup begin to come to mind. Marco's soul, like the soul of all sapiens, is ascending to the greater intelligence, mingling with the lives of billions of others, with his father, his mother, and maybe Cassius too. A place he'd also join one day. But the human soul belonged here, in his arms, not to be mixed and consumed by the parents. Not yet. That mixed, singular being isn't Marco. It's like a beautiful mural being shattered, then reconstructed into something else. Marco still exists. At this very moment he exists, but it's no longer him. Amicus grits his teeth, feeling anger begin to overcome the overwhelming grief. No. No.
No!
How dare they? This isn't fair. The parents had spoken to Marco, had told him what to do, had led him to this point. When the human had told Amicus that he was worried about something terrible happening.
No!
Amicus shakes his head, still clutching onto the human tightly.
Amicus?
Neferu's voice is tentative, almost fearful, like he's worried about what Amicus might do. Amicus isn't even sure of that himself as he rises to his feet, cradling the human in his one good arm, easily able to do so because of their difference in size. He turns and walks quickly toward the palace, almost jogging, ignoring the various jolts of pain throughout his body. He doesn't even glance down at Cato's unmoving body as he passes by. The wolf's expression is stoic now, a strange rage bubbling just under the surface.
Amicus!
Neferu calls after him, but Amicus ignores the jackal, set on one thing, and one thing only. The parents might have taken his parents, maybe even his brother, but they aren't going to take his human. He won't allow it. As the wolf enters the palace, he notices Alex pacing the hallway. He stops as he sees the wolf approaching.
Amicus! I heard that you are now Emperor and...
He trails off as he sees Marco cradled in the wolf's arm. The blood covering the body, flowing down a limply hanging arm to drip gently from the fingertips. Amicus brushes past the cat, eyes set straight ahead, expressionless. Nothing seems to exist outside of the wolf's tunnel vision. Soon, he comes to the door he's looking for and leans forward, pressing his injured shoulder to the panel to open it, ignoring the blaze of pain that shoots through him as he does. Amicus approaches the archive, glaring at the orb as if the machinery itself is the parents. The big wolf comes to a stop in front of it, staring up at the glowing blue structure for a moment before looking down at Marco. The ashen color of the skin is unnerving, so different from the deep tones he once had. Marco is dead. Amicus knows that, but he won't accept it. The wolf presses his face close to the human's for a moment, feeling the fading warmth before kissing him gently on the top of his head. With that, Amicus leans forward, pressing them both to the sphere. Then he connects, and he merges with the universe.
I drift through the blackness, feeling a sense of peace like I've never known before. Even though the space is empty, I feel it crowded with others. So many others. Or is it one other? I sense so many different minds and thoughts, melded together as one. Hello? Hello? We continue to drift through infinite space, content. Despite everything, we trust the beings around us, all of us, and the others. The parents. The parents. This was all meant to happen. And though it was hard and terrible, the worst is now over. And that thought alone is enough to keep us completely relaxed. Waves and waves of relief washing over us. In the cacophony of thoughts and emotions, though, something stands out. Though the beings meld together, one seems to become separate for a moment, solely to focus directly on us. On me. This brings me out of my trance for a bit, as I turn my attention on them. Amicus? But then, as I focus more on this being, I get a different feeling. Not him, but her. It seems like she wants to speak to me. She's not familiar, not someone I've spoken to before. But the intensity with which she's focusing on me. Hello? 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 I reach out, but then suddenly the amalgamation of intelligence begins to pull away, and I feel myself extracted from its mass. The feeling is bizarre, and immediately I almost miss the crowding of thoughts and feelings, of being one with many. But then I feel myself again. My body, beginning to materialize out of nothing. The nothingness around me slowly becomes something. For a moment, I'm floating in the air. Then I'm being held by something strong and solid. The first thing I see is Amicus's face. He's looking down at me, grim and determined. Just as I focus on him, though, his expression changes. Marco? 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 I shift a little, trying to focus better on my wolf. Marco! 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 Suddenly, I'm surrounded by fur, getting squeezed tight against Amicus, my face pressed into his neck. Oh gods! Oh gods! Are you real? Are you real? Tell me you're real! Tell me you're real! Marco! Marco! Please! 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 I'm having trouble remembering things, like why he seems so upset. I know something bad happened, and now it's over, so I try to comfort him.
I'm real. I'm real. I'm real. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
My voice is strange, like I haven't used it in a while. At first, I think I'm back in Amicus's room after I've woken up from the coma, still trying to convince him that everything is okay. Like we'd gone to sleep and just woken up, and he wants to be reassured again that I'm not going to disappear. But then I remember that Kato came in that morning. Things suddenly fall into place like a long row of giant heavy dominoes. I sit up a bit, against Amicus's chest, pushing back so I can look up at him. Wait, the fight? The fight? Kato. Amicus, are you okay? I look him over, trying to check his wounds. The blood and swelling that I'd seen in the amphitheater is gone, though. He's clean and well-groomed, and his arm seems just fine judging by its sturdiness underneath me. My brief look at him is ended, though, as Amicus suddenly yanks me back against his chest, sobbing against me. I've seen Amicus cry before, back in the dungeon, but not these gut-wrenching sobs that I can feel heaving through my own body. It serves to shock me back to my senses even more. Firmly, I push back against his chest, creating space between us so I can hold his face in my hands. He just looks back at me, crying openly, and I watch as the tears well out of his eyes and seem to disappear into the fur of his cheeks. I'm sure we both want to say a lot in this moment. What happened? What's happening now? What will happen? But at this particular moment in time and space, we're back together. It's impossible, but it's happening. So I cling to him again, and he just holds me as I press my face against his chest, listening to his hammering heart, squeezing my eyes shut. If this is eternity, then I'm completely fine with it. I'm not sure how much time passes, but as this thought crosses my mind a few times, my eyes suddenly fly open. I press back again, looking up at the wolf and taking his face in my hands. Wait, if you're here, did you? I wonder if maybe Amicus had been seriously wounded in the fight, that he didn't make it after all. But Amicus shakes his head gently, his sobs having quieted to subdued sniffles and hiccups.
No, I'm fine. I won. Kato is dead.
I'm flooded with relief. He strokes my hair gently, slowly, and I wonder why he still looks so sad. But how are you here? Aren't I? I look around at the infinite space surrounding us. The stars and planets are unusually close, stunningly bright, and unimaginably vivid. The blues, purples, and blacks are deep and monolithic, signaling the endless space that stretches beyond. Am I dead? Amicus pulls me back against him, forcing me to look away from the churning universe.
No, you're here.
It sounds more like he's convincing himself rather than me. But where's here? Amicus is quiet for a moment, and I find myself content to lean against him for a while, just wanting to be close to him. Amicus sniffles again.
I melded my mind with the archive to speak to the parents. That's all I know.
I think. Did I do the same then?
I was holding you when I did it.
My neck. The blood. I look up at him again. Amicus. Am I alive? Amicus looks at me for a moment before his face screws up and tears well up again.
I don't know.
He whines out the words, and immediately I hug him again. Hey, I'm okay, see? I'm here. Another sobbing fit starts, and now I know why. I must have died, and now, for whatever reason, the parents have let us reunite somehow. And I know that Amicus must be wondering the same thing I am. How long is this going to last? I try to think of what to say, in case this is our last moment together, in case I'm going to be absorbed again. But my mind comes up short in the weirdest of ways, only able to think of things that don't matter. So I settle on what had just happened. You're Emperor now, Amicus. Amicus nods at me, apparently not trusting his voice at the moment. I'm so happy for you. Now he shakes his head, smearing tears against my cheek. I hate seeing him like this. I hate that this might be the last way that I see him. Please don't cry. Let's just be together right now. I sit up straight and pull his head against my chest for once, cradling his massive form against me, caressing his ears and neck. I'm okay. I promise you. I went somewhere when I died. The word is so strange to say. It was really nice, full of people. I wasn't alone. It was peaceful. Amicus takes a deep, shuddering breath, finally pulling back from my hug.
That's wonderful, Marco. But I'm sorry. Because I'm not letting you go back there.
Amicus suddenly looks resolute as he smirks through his tears.
You're coming back with me.
His voice breaks several times, and I can tell that he really means it. He really is certain that he's going to drag me back from the dimension of the dead. I don't know what to say. I don't know much about the parents or the afterlife, but Amicus must, so I trust him. I smile up at him. Okay. He smiles back at me, then very suddenly kisses me. It's rough and wet, and he kind of misses my lips, but I kiss back, holding him tightly. Once he finally draws back, I'm happy to see my wolf back to his usual confident self, even if he has to keep sniffling with his runny nose. I look around at the swirling cosmos again. Can you just get us out? Amicus frowns, looking around himself.
This is actually my first time doing this, so I'm not sure.
Amicus looks behind us, then up and down, then clears his throat.
Calm? Calm, are you there?
Silence. The parents are doing this, right?
I think so. Although I've never spoken to them. You actually have more experience with that.
Amicus grins at me, then looks back up.
Maybe if we walk back.
I give Amicus a strange look, and just as I'm about to point out the absurdity of walking back to Adastra through infinite space, a booming presence makes itself known.
I suppose you are finished.
Amicus and I both jump, and the wolf leaps to his feet while keeping me held in his arms.
Who's there? Who's there? Who's there?
Amicus shouts into the void, snarling. It's okay, Amicus. It's just the monitor. I say it like he's an old friend of mine. However, Amicus doesn't lower his guard and continues to growl into space. The monitor expresses his amusement in that silent way of his, but I can understand why Amicus isn't letting his guard down. It's evident in the way he's holding me, clutching me tightly to his chest. He's afraid I'm going to be taken back from him. I am too.
If you are, I'll open the channel of communication now.
Amicus raises an eyebrow.
What the hell are you talking about? You wish to speak with the parents, correct? They wish to speak directly with you, at least as directly as possible.
There's a pause, and I can see the gears turning in Amicus's head as his ears flick.
Yes. Then it is done.
The monitor's presence vanishes, and suddenly there's another one. Not one, but many, similar to what I had felt earlier. But this is still different. Instead of melding together, these entities are distinct and separate from each other. But they're also so similar that they could be copies of a single person. Their intentions feel disturbingly uniform, like they're all on the exact same path. Unlike the monitor, who at least felt to be on a similar level as any other sapient, these entities feel alien. Which is a strange thing to feel after everything I've been through. But these things are so different. So different.
Well, show yourself.
Amicus barks at the emptiness, somehow remaining brave in the face of all these titanic presences.
You cannot see us.
Amicus looks down at the human in confusion.
What?
He stares back.
We cannot speak directly to you.
Marco?
But we have other methods.
Amicus's face morphs from confusion to horror.
Gods! Marco?
He gives the human a little shake.
Hey!
He can hear you. He is simply occupied at the moment.
Amicus bares his teeth, and he begins to shake. He's not sure if it's from anger or from fear. Likely both.
If you don't stop...
There is no need to threaten. All is as it should be.
Amicus is left to stand there, staring open-mouthed at his lover. This isn't how he'd envisioned it. Any of this at all. These are the parents?
What the hell are you?
We are your guide, your benevolent leader, your parent.
Amicus rubs a paw over the human's forehead gently, looking into those blank, staring eyes.
Leave him be! Please!
He is not being harmed. He shall return to a normal state after the channeling is complete.
But how?
Simply put, we are manipulating his behavior through the use of the lingua.
Amicus shakes his head, clearly not wanting this at all, but the complete powerlessness he feels right now, it's overwhelming. The speech he'd been planning for this moment, his intention to tear apart the careless arrogance of the parents, it just dissipates. Seeing Marco just taken by them like this, it's enough to completely cow any courage he'd once had. For a brief moment, Amicus wonders if any of this is real. What reality even is right now?
That is not for you to wonder, Amicus. All that matters is that you are the one true Emperor.
What do you want?
Amicus stares down at his human, feeling repulsed by what's happening.
For the work of Drusus to continue, for Adastra to achieve its full potential at last, for the Galaxius to ascend.
Amicus shakes his head, trying to focus, trying not to focus on the robotic tone of Marco's voice, on the strange way his jaw moves, forced to speak in the woven tongue.
I intended to do so, but please, let the human go and heal him. Please. He didn't ask for any of this.
The human is also involved, Amicus.
But I involved him.
It was meant to be.
What?
Amicus isn't sure if it's his own mind, or the mind of another that brings back the memory of when he'd opened the archives. How Earth had been near the top of the list of profiled planets. How it made no sense that an uncontacted world would be on that list at all. But now it does make sense. But at the same time, even less sense. Amicus shakes his head, still reeling at the situation he's in, feeling that he's teetering on the edge of madness.
Steady. There are many things you do not understand. Things that you will never understand. And that is fine. Not all things are meant to be understood by all sapiens. But you at least understand that the humans are not uncontacted, are they?
Amicus says nothing, knowing that his mind is being read.
Somehow, Wolven culture is there. So is Chemian culture, Hindo culture, all sibling cultures.
The parents go silent, and Amicus is left to stare at the puppet his lover has become. Amicus grits his teeth.
Why?
Because they were an experimental microcosm, now a successful one, and it is time for them to be integrated into the Galaxius.
Another moment of silence.
And you want me to help do this?
No. Your mission is to help unite the siblings. The first step is Chemia.
That was already my intention.
That is questionable. The situation is perilous. Chemia is furious after what has happened. You need more guidance. Thus, why you are here.
Amicus snarls.
I'm here for him.
Amicus nods at Marco, at the sapient creature being used as a mouthpiece.
You are here for the Galaxius. And as the Emperor, you now have the onus to know all this information. As your father knew, as his father knew, and so on.
Amicus grits his teeth again, trying to comprehend what's being told to him, despite being completely disturbed by what's happening to Marco.
If you wanted galactic integration, then why have we been competing with each other?
This was assumed by the siblings themselves. Competition was never the goal.
Then why not tell us that? You're supposed to be our guide.
The process is slow and careful. Interference is a last resort. This very communication is a last resort. As the siblings and children stray further and further from the path every day, and not just the wolves. It has taken 20,000 years to reach this point, and that time cannot be wasted.
Then why are you telling only me this, and not all sapients in the Galaxias?
Amicus glares at the face of the human again, stroking the face gently, hating the blank stare he's receiving.
As was stated, minimal interference will result in the best outcome. Only select figures are being informed at this stage. A Galaxias developed independent of interference will better serve the greater cause as a whole.
The greater cause?
The stars and the planets shift around them, zooming forward, and for a moment, Amicus feels as though he might be sick. Something dark looms on the edge of the universe, growing slowly, leeching the parts that it touches.
The other approaches, and it must be confronted.
At this point, Amicus feels unease pierce through his fog of confusion and anger.
What other? Are we preparing for war against something?
We must prepare for an event many millennia from now. This is one step of many.
Amicus lets out a low growl of frustration, the vagueness of this entire situation making his head ache.
But what does this have to do with Marco?
Amicus shifts his hold on the human, just wanting him to come back to consciousness.
He must play a role, and you must make a decision, Amicus.
Everything seems to come together all at once for Amicus. All of this talk of Drusus, of his and Marco's apparently fixed destinies. That decision that wolves fawned over for generations, no matter what opinion they held about Drusus himself. The choice offered by the parents to either save his empire or save his lover. Icy, cold fear and dread blooms in the pit of Amicus's stomach and slowly spreads throughout the rest of his body, seeming to leak like a frigid liquid down his groin and into his legs. The wolf feels his limbs tremble as he pulls the human closer to his chest, lips drawing back as instinct kicks in to protect his mate. For a long while, a length of time that's hard to discern, the wolf simply stares into the abyss. He looks up into the swirling stars, clouds, and planets, trying to see these things that are controlling and manipulating he and his lover. Trembling, Amicus shakes his head, taking another step back, away, even though the presence of the parents is all-encompassing.
No.
Amicus's jaw clenches, hating himself for sounding so weak and afraid.
No, I won't make such a decision.
For once, the unseen place in which the parents reside is silent, but observant. Amicus can feel the prickle of their all-seeing eyes on the nape of his neck.
You hear me? I won't do it. I'll stay here forever if I have to. You can't involve us in this foolishness.
Marco suddenly shifts in his grasp, his head turning awkwardly, leaning up in a strange way that seems unnatural, as if pulled up by strings.
Foolishness.
Marco stares at him with a cold and almost dismissive expression, one Amicus has never seen him make before. Amicus flinches back, feeling a chill run up his spine as he tries to stop himself from dropping the human he knows so well.
How does this situation, in which the lives of 1 trillion sapiens teeters on the brink of annihilation, call for such childish statements? Tell us, in what universe would attempts to avoid such a catastrophic outcome be considered foolishness?
The human suddenly tilts his head unnaturally, leaning in closer to the wolf, and Amicus gasps, setting a large paw against Marco's face, trying to stop the strange, inhuman movements.
Stop that! Stop that! Don't hurt him! Don't hurt him!
The human holds the position for a moment, then seems to slowly relax back into the wolf's arms. Amicus feels his heart pounding in his chest. He'd provoked, well, not even anger from the parents, maybe just annoyance, yet the experience had been terrifying. Seeing Marco twist and contort in such a way was unnerving, sure, but the parents had meant to do it, and the wolf was beginning to realize why they're using Marco as a puppet. Anger and fear battle for control over the wolf, before the latter finally wins out, remembering what type of decision he might have to make.
Please, there must be another way. I can't choose between these two things.
There's a pause in the air, and Amicus feels his knees about to give out, preparing to throw himself at the imaginary feet of these monolithic beings. He'd beg until the end of time. Wolven pride be damned.
What decision do you speak of?
Amicus glances up again at the stars.
The decision presented to Drusus. The one decided for him by Mira 10 millennia ago.
Amicus frowns, knowing that the parents already know what he's talking about, becoming further distressed that they're making him vocalize things that are so obvious.
Oh, Amicus, don't you know the proclivity of your own people to twist and distort, to aggrandize and romanticize the truth?
Amicus is quiet, waiting, heart still hammering, simply feeling numb at this point.
Do not rely on woven myth to inform you of parental intention. Only we will speak the truth to you.
Then what is it? Why torment me like this?
Several moments of silence pass, and Amicus growls again, frustrated at the way he's being treated, how his emotions are being manipulated and sculpted like a mound of clay. This isn't what he'd been taught at all. Had his father known the parents to be like this? His grandfather? Amicus wishes that he'd been warned, somehow. As the silence drags on, the wolf tries to deaden his emotions, to not give these entities any sort of hint as to what he might be feeling, wanting to refuse this blatant attack on his own agency, despite how futile he knows that must be.
You can bring back your lover. At this very moment, time stands nearly still on your plane. Marco's body and mind are still salvageable.
Amicus's heart feels as though it might leap from his mouth, his hold on Marco tightening.
How?
But only if. you submit yourself to the benevolent will of the parents. Will you?
Amicus furrows his brow in confusion, unsure of what this all could mean.
But I've already done so. Ever since I was a pup, we've been told to.
After this experience, your mind will waver. You're unsure as to what our intentions truly are. There will be moments in which you will want to question, to doubt our will. You must overcome such moments. Our will is what is best for the Galaxius and the universe as a whole.
Amicus stares for a moment.
And if I don't agree?
Then we shall let the human pass on as he naturally should, and we shall wait for a future emperor to take your place.
Amicus shakes his head, not wanting to believe this is true, that this is the way that the leaders of the Galaxius function.
It must be done.
The wolf is quiet, for once wishing that he wasn't in such a position, wishing that he could hide away in the quiet countryside with his human, to live a normal life.
That is not your calling. It never was.
I know.
Amicus whispers, more to himself than to the parents. There's a long moment of silence in which Amicus simply stares into space, contemplating what it means to give up any true freedom, to submit himself to the absolute authority of the galaxy.
Will you submit?
Amicus takes a deep breath.
Will my decision affect Marco's free will? You said you have plans for him as well.
He will be allowed to make his own decisions. We will tell you of his mission once you make your decision.
Amicus stifles another growl, hating that his human is being forced into this as well.
Will you submit?
Amicus closes his eyes, feeling his anger and resilience slowly drain away. Then he opens them.
I submit.
Blue light swirls in front of my eyes in intricate spiraling tendrils. It's beautiful, and as I begin to focus, I see a blurry gray shape in the middle of it all. Even before I'm fully able to see him, I know it's my wolf. I smile and reach up, cupping at the warm, furry form. He smiles down at me.
Hey.
I lie quietly in his arms for a while, just enjoying the comforting blue glow. I'm reminded of when I first met Amicus, when our ship stalled out in that blue dust cloud, when he'd finally revealed to me his botched plan. That feels so distant now, like it was years ago rather than just months. I take a deep breath, and something about it feels strange, almost like something mechanical is moving in my neck. I reach up, touching my fingers to my throat, and for a moment they brush against something that feels like a thin line of flesh. But Amicus reaches down and moves my hand away, pressing it to my chest instead.
You're all right. You're going to be fine now.
What? That's when I also realized that my voice sounds strange. It still sounds like me, but there's something slightly off about it. Like it's a little higher, maybe even just a little robotic. I frown. Amicus presses against my chest, firmly but comfortingly.
It's okay. I know it might feel a bit strange, but you won't even notice it after a few days.
What is he talking about? Again, I lay quietly in his arms as I gather my thoughts. The fight, the dagger, the darkness, the parents. Then, I look up at Amicus and question. What happened? I try to ignore the strange, soundless, mechanical clicking feeling in my throat, while also trying to get used to my voice. It's like hearing myself in a recording, just not quite right. Amicus chuckles, sounding exhausted, relieved, and maybe even a little sad at the same time.
Quite a bit happened, Marco.
But the parents, I thought they wanted us to meet them. Amicus's gentle smile wavers for a moment.
Well, they did. I met them.
What? I don't remember. I rack my memory, but nothing comes to mind.
You lost consciousness when it happened.
I frown at that, wondering why that would happen, but Amicus doesn't offer an explanation. I look down at my chest, and instead of the coating of blood I'm expecting to see, I'm clean and bare, aside from a few small wet spots on my chest. I suppose Amicus had been a bit more emotional before I'd woken up. I look back at him, then press my face against his body, and he responds by hugging me close to his chest for a moment.
So it's over? They decided to bring me back?
My voice is muffled against his fur. My strange, not quite right voice. Amicus loosens his hold on me, allowing me to look back up at his face.
Yes, it's over.
The tension that I'd held in my chest ever since I'd arrived, ever since being abducted from my bedroom in Italy, it all releases slowly. For once, I feel light and free, and I sag into the wolf's arms, sighing deeply.
I love you.
I love you too. I smile up at him, and despite everything being over, I can't help but notice that he seems a bit sad too. I rest a hand against his chest. You all right? Amicus laughs loudly, shaking my entire body.
Aside from nearly losing everything I hold dear, I suppose I'm all right, yes.
I try to sit up, but Amicus keeps me reclined, gently but firmly. You sure? You seem upset. The big wolf sighs deeply, and I feel his torso puff out against my side and shoulder.
There are things I must tell you, but later. It's not important right now.
That tension that had been so mercifully loosened in my chest suddenly appears again, albeit in a much smaller way. I do want to ask more, but for now, I just want to rest. Well, as long as I'm not going to pass out and wake up completely confused again, I feel like that's all I've been doing the past month. Amicus huffs in amusement.
Yes, you do have a knack for such things.
We go quiet again, and it's a nice kind of quiet. We're both just basking in the peaceful aftermath of our months-long struggle.
After a while, though, my wolf meets my eyes again.
Marco?
Yes, Amicus?
I'm sorry.
Sorry?
For everything. For taking you from your planet. For involving you in Adastran politics. For acting like I knew better. Even if it was part of the parents' plan, it doesn't make it right. And I'm sorry.
Plan? Amicus lets out a small, tired laugh, shaking his head.
Again, I'll tell you later. Let's just be together for now.
I nod in agreement, ignoring the clicks in my neck, clinging to my wolf, happy to be in this quiet little corner of the universe, undisturbed by politics, mad emperors, or monolithic space entities. Welcome to the end of the video. I'm traveling again in a couple days, so I don't have time to script and record a proper after reading for this episode. But I would like to take this opportunity to thank my patron, Charlie, for making sure I didn't run out of beer this month. Your support is appreciated. Thanks again. As for the rest of you, if you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a like, share it with fellow degenerates, and leave a comment for the almighty YouTube algorithm. Seriously, any sort of engagement helps. I don't just do this spiel to sound cool. Also, leave a comment if you think I don't sound cool. And what am I doing? Until next time, thanks for watching.